You're watching Times Now, and our continuous coverage, a Times Now initiative and a campaign has been that of MeToo. Remember, it started off with Nana Patekar, following which there was Alok Nath as well, and the latest man who faces very serious and grave charges of sexual harassment is Tamil lyricist Vairamuthu. He's also facing damning allegations by anonymous complaints. However, these are complaints which have been endorsed and also some of them levelled by none other than Singer Chinmayi Sripaada, who of course joins us here on Times Now. Chinmayi, first of all, on behalf of Times Now, I'd like to congratulate you. I can understand you were very young at that time. For you to now come out as an adult and to speak out against someone who is very powerful within the industry takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of guts. So I will not ask you what is it that he has said, because you've already made details about it, you've made that public, but you should speak to us and let us know how the Me Too campaign is required, because people, men in very powerful positions, have actually threatened and in some cases also managed to destroy careers of those who are vulnerable. That happened in your case, didn't it?
It actually, I don't think it has happened in my case. To give the devil its due credit, I don't think he has manipulated my career or tried to ruin my career in any way. The groping happened. I remember running away, and especially in Switzerland, I made sure that I was not caught alone with him. And thereafter, I think whichever songs that I have sung of his, only the lyric sheet used to come, and I never had to be alone in any place. And whatever I said out in public on Twitter, acknowledging his work as a lyricist, was because it was expected of me to do as a professional, and I did so. And as of now, I think there are a lot of girls who have come out. There are a couple of my own co-singers who have come out but are petrified of coming out in the open, and I shall be their voice and speak for them. He has attempted to kiss at least two of them in his own office, and reading the stories made me shake, because it is difficult to swallow all this and to not internalize all of this. And I'm sure that a lot of girls are afraid of even speaking out, because he's a powerful man, and it's very difficult to speak out against people in power, no matter where you are, whether it's your college, whether it's your own home, or whether it's your office, and in this case our workplace, which is in the industry. At the same time, I would say that there are a couple of bad apples, and I would like to say that I have felt mostly safe, if not all the time safe, in working in this industry. And it has been tough, yes, but the time has come, the time's up.
Well, Chinmayi, quite understandable. You are even now visibly shaking, and it is must be an emotional trauma for you to come out like this, and it is a brave step that you are also taking the voices forward of those women who even now don't want to come out with it. Why is it? What are they scared of? What exactly is it that Vairamuthu is likely to do to them? What really scares them?
I cannot speculate on all that. I think most of us, I mean, I have heard hundreds of stories the past couple of days of people being, sexually assaulted before they were the age of 11, both boys and girls who have carried all their scars well into adulthood, and they have been assaulted by their own elder brothers, grandfathers, uncles, stepfathers, some in the worst of cases even by their own fathers. They can't speak up because they are not supposed to, ruin their sisters or their mothers or their grandmothers' lives, or if these men have children, they are not supposed to ruin their lives. There is so much at stake. I mean, it is not just it is in the collective conscience of the victim to bear not only the emotional trauma of the assault, but it is also her responsibility to make sure that the victim's family is taken care of and they are safe. I hope this Me Too campaign will help, especially, I mean, workplace and education aside. It needs to start at home. It's broken my heart to see the number of people who said, young boys before the time they were 11, that they were raped by their own family members, and so many of them have shared their stories, and it is difficult, and it has to start at home, and I think everything else will percolate from there. Start at home, listen to the voices of your own family members and stand up for them. Least we could do.
Chinmaya, you said it right. I absolutely agree with you. It has to start at the family. These power equations and this conspiracy of silence must end.
All right, you are watching News Flash. I'm Megha Prasad, and we are beginning this bulletin, of course, with the MeToo storm that has not only hit Bollywood or different parts of this country, but also the southern film industry. The Tamil lyricist Vairamuthu is also facing damning allegation by anonymous complainants endorsed by singer Chinmayi Sripaada. In fact, Chinmaya continues to be with us. She joined us some time back, and she's there on this broadcast. And before I take my questions with Chinmaya, let me also tell you that Vairamuthu is quite an achiever. This man is a 6-time national awardee and a Padma Bhushan, and Chinmayi Sripaada now sits with us to narrate the ordeal that she was made to go through, and also perhaps, Chinmaya, speak for other women who still have not found their voice. Chinmaya, first of all, I would like you to tell us exactly what had happened, the incident that you are referring to or you have written about as far as Vairamuthu is concerned.
I went for an event for an album that he was releasing, and there was a performance, and the album release happened in Switzerland. And I think my memory is hazy, but I believe we performed in 2 places, or maybe in one, in both Bern and Zurich. And after the concerts were over, me and my mother had to stay back, and we didn't realize why we were staying back while the rest of the team had left. And at which point my mom started demanding what exactly is going on, and then the organizer of the show asked me to go and cooperate and meet Vairamuthu sir at the hotel. And I said, my mother said no chance, and he said, your career will be over if you don't listen to us. And we said, I think my mother said, I was unaware of this when this happened. My mother said that she would complain to the embassy if we are not sent back to India. And we came back, and the groping incident actually happened in his office, and I remember running away from there, leaving my footwear. I was not unaware, and then my mother told me that she kind of asked me to internalize it, because this is apparently how older men behave to find out if you're that sort of a girl.
Okay, and you decided not to go ahead with any sort of a complaint. You just let the matter be then there.
There is absolutely no question about that. One, I was way too young when this happened. I was 19, 20, and I don't think anybody would have believed all this then.
Yeah.
Nobody, I mean, at least even now people aren't believing victims, and forget about this 15 years ago, there was no chance. And now it's time for me to, I thought it was time for me to come out with my story when I heard other singers going through the same thing, and they're petrified of coming out with their own story because they're afraid that their career will be at stake, and they'll no longer get any opportunities to sing, and more than anything else, that they will not be allowed to continue their careers by their own families, and that is the bigger issue at stake. And I think they deserve to share the story and remain anonymous.
Of course, each one of them deserves the space, and they should find their voice and be able to express as to exactly what has happened with them. But now, when you say, Chinmayi, this, that there are others who are going through the same trauma, how many other victims have gotten in touch with you? And you are saying that you are speaking on behalf of others, so do tell us about them as well, without giving out the details if they don't want to come out in the open.
So far there are about 5 or 6. I think I have put all of those screenshots up on my Twitter page. I kind of lost count because I'm talking about others too. But yes, there have been a couple of accounts from the ladies hostel that he runs for professional women, and they have said that he would come into their rooms uninvited and without permission, and he would loiter about the corridors and just step into a room whenever he feels like it, and personally come to collect the fees and things like that. And perhaps, yeah, I don't want to speculate anymore, because this is what I heard and this is what I will repeat.
Well, Chinmayi, I can see how uncomfortable you're getting talking about this. You obviously kept all of this bottled up inside you for so long. Now that you have decided to come out, what would you want in terms of the action taken against this man? Would you want to go and make a formal complaint?
I believe that there is a time period for such complaints, and I guess the time period has gone way past it. I still don't know my legal options. I have spoken to my lawyer. He asked me to breathe for a couple of days and get back to him. And I think I'll take this time to breathe.
But would you consider taking legal option, because there is actually no time limit for any sort of complaint like this, Chinmayi? You can go to the police anytime.
Yes. Yes, I actually, coming to think of it, I just remembered Sandhya Menon, the restless squill, who was also part of this. She put out this thing that the National Council of Women is helping all these cases, and I said I will put in my written complaint. I will do that.
Okay, so we will also try and get you legal help, Chinmayi, if that is what you're looking forward to. We'll try and get you some of the prominent lawyers who can, guide you as to how to go ahead. And if this is what you are contemplating, I can understand, I can see the discomfort. I can see how uncomfortable you're getting there. And this would have really, really bothered you, Chinmayi, when it happened back then. Was it only fear? The fear that this man was too powerful, that if you'd come out and spoken then, nobody would have stood by you?
That is one. Second is, I think at that point in time, even now, I've had a few journalists who are much older who have come out to ask my husband, why is she doing all this now? What is the reason? So yeah, we still answer those questions. My mother kept arguing with me about not talking about this. That's how the society is. So even now I hear a lot more no's than ayes.
Lot more no's and ayes, and does that disappoint you, Chinmayi?
Yeah.
Okay. And this person that you are talking about, Vairamuthu, he is still a flourishing lyricist there in the South Indian movie film industry. Despite the fact that there are women who have been harassed by him, no one till date has come out and spoken about it.
I didn't get that.
Okay, I'm saying,
Sorry?
what I'm asking is that this person is still a flourishing lyricist there in the South Indian film industry. Nothing, no allegations stuck upon him, no other woman has come out and spoken against him till date. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's actually one of the most prolific writers in the country, and everybody knows about it. And yeah, I guess it's very difficult for everybody else to come out and speak. It's very difficult.
And what are you telling all the other women who are getting in touch with you, of course, who still want to be anonymous, Chinmayi? You're saying 6 of them who've gotten in touch with you, but they still don't want their names and their faces to come out. You've been brave enough to come and speak about it. You're sitting in front of a camera and narrating your ordeal and also speaking on behalf of the others. Would you advise them to come out and speak?
If they want to tell me, I'm listening. If they don't want to share their story, that's fine. I think it's not my place to tell any other victim of any sort of sexual harassment when to say it, how to say it, what the right time it is, and speak up only when they are comfortable, when they are truly comfortable.
Okay, Chinmayi, now that we are talking about, the action that you can take going forward from here, do tell me that would you place your faith in the National Commission of Women? Would you want to approach them, or if they want to get in touch with you, would you want to register a formal complaint with them?
Yes, I would. And I really have to beg your pardon. I'll have to go back to my shoot because they've been waiting for a really long while. I thank you for your time and the opportunity to have been able to share my story.
Okay. And tell me, Chinmayi, before, all right. So that was Chinmayi, one of the singers there from South India, who has now come out and spoken. In fact, she has been courageous enough to speak about the ordeal that she was made to go through. In fact, she was harassed, groped by one of those lyricists, a big-time lyricist in South India, Vairamuthu.